Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Temi Shogelola. I am the Space Sustainability Lead at the UK Space Agency. I've worked in the UK civil service for the last 7 years, and I sort of specialise in project delivery. So I deliver some of the UK government's complex and strategically complex programs. I kicked off my career at Cabinet Office, and I've worked for the Ministry of Defence, the previous Brexit department, and then now I'm at UK Space Agency. I'm also a trustee for a national charity called Patchwork Foundation, which looks to get underserved communities into politics. Today, we've got young people who have graduated from our program and gone on to work for the Secret Services, for the Mayor's Office, the Met Police, and for the UK Army. And outside of that, I'm also run my own business, which is a gin brand, and it's the first gin brand in the UK to be owned and founded by a Black woman. I'll start off by saying at a very early age, I kind of learned that it was easier to apologize than to ask permission. So I think a lot of the decisions I made in terms of education and career pretty much came from that sort of foundation. And I think I also realized that, in a way, my superpower was being able to find the silence amongst the noise. And that means strategically, when you're faced with a problem, I can immediately start thinking about, okay, what do you need to do? What skills do you have? What capabilities are available? And in a way, that's kind of very much helped me in my career. So I joined the civil service right after uni. So after graduating, I had the year of just doing everything I wanted to do. Right. I worked in a bar. I worked for a charity to help young people. I worked in a primary school as a teaching assistant. So every career choice that I kind of wanted to do in my younger years, I kind of just did everything in that year. And then it was time for me to choose a career path, and I still wasn't sure. So I joined the civil service on an internship, and I was working on a technology transformation program. This was a program that was meant to change the whole IT system or the IT infrastructure for the UK government. And I was one of 5 women in a team of over 100. I was the youngest and the only Black woman in my team. But it was an enjoyable experience because one of the things I did was I learned very quickly on that there were 2 skills I needed if I wanted to thrive in this industry. The first one was to read the papers, because when you're in those meetings, you see very quickly who didn't read the papers. And the second was to ask questions. So I learned that there was no such thing as a stupid question or a silly question. If you want to be informed and if you want to be seen, you ask questions. And I know I struggled very much with that coming from a background as an African child, being told you speak when spoken to, you don't speak where elders are speaking, and all of these things. So it was one of the really big challenges I had to face because I had 3 months to make an impression if I wanted my contract extended. But I was also just one of only in the rooms. So once I realized those 2 things and I started to work on them, I soon realized that I had a lot of things to say and I had a lot of good things to say. And by saying those things, you earn the respect and you sort of earn your stripes in a way. So, starting off and I would say a big part of my career has been working in male dominating spaces. Um, I I think there's this initial fear that comes in, and then before you know it, you realize that actually I've got the tools, the intellect, and the ability to not only work in these environments but to thrive in these environments. So, worked in a number of teams within the cabinet office. Then I think my big challenge was after the referendum in the UK to leave the European Union. A colleague of mine was like, I think you can help deliver this. We're looking to build a new department. Can you come on board and help deliver this? And I think just being trusted, again, I was still like 22, 23 at the time, and just being able to get my thoughts on paper and very much explain what's in my head, and in a way that was clear and concise. You start to build your own confidence, you start to build your own capabilities. And one of the things I also realize is when you're as a woman in those spaces, you also motivate other women to look in those spaces as an opportunity for them to come into and to grow their career. And in order to do that, one of the things I started working on was around devolving information. So, men speak in their own language, so you then need to convert it in a language where other people that aren't men can understand. They have all their acronyms, and they have all their laddish culture, as you say in the UK. That after pub, going to the pub after work, and in a way you have to assimilate, understand the environment you're working in, and then go share it with everybody else. So you get more women coming into those space, you get more women coming in at different levels and making a stand and creating a change. And it's one of the things I enjoy most. I think it was Suzanne who mentioned, just having inspirational women in her lives. And I would say I'm also someone who's grown up with women who have advocated for me, who have opened doors and left those doors opened, who have pulled up the chair, and who have given me like the bite-sized notes to have a good understanding of where I'm getting it myself into. Outside of the civil service, and and I can talk a bit more about that afterwards, is I started my own business and going into the sort of gin alcohol industry. It's very male dominated, very class dominated. And it's also, again, just finding my own space and knowing what I bring to the table, and being and sitting on that and being comfortable to challenge and be different. And yeah, like I said, I'm happy to talk a bit more when we get to the Q&A section, but that's all for me for now.